Hello! I haven't filmed in so long for YouTube. If you're new here, hi, I'm Lauren. This video is going to be really a catch-up kind of video to fill you all in on where I've been, because I haven't filmed anything, I think, since like March or April, which is a really long time when you make content for YouTube. But honestly, there's been so much happening in my life and a lot just going on. So I'm gonna do a get ready with me type video. I'm not really going to stop to slow down and explain what products I'm using, but I will have all of that down in the comment box if you're wanting to know what I'm using. So my skin is already prepped and ready. We're gonna just jump on into this. So I've been MIA for a long time now, it feels like, and it really was not intentional. So you see what happened was we bought a house in April and moved. And my last video, I think I posted in April. I don't even know. It's been so long. So we moved in April, and if you've ever moved, it's a lot of work. And I did a lot of it. My husband helped too with like the bigger stuff, and then a lot of the smaller stuff I did because he goes to work every day. So I was very preoccupied with getting settled into our new house, which, like, I just want to say, like, I am so grateful to have my own little space to film in, because for those of you who don't know, my previous setup in our old place, in our townhome, was me straddling a toilet backwards, facing a window, because there was nowhere else that made sense for me to film. I did not have a good setup for this type of job. And so I love this little nook. You can see we've got like my own little space. Love it. So happy here. Love our house. It's been great. It's a great area. So that was like the first thing that I've been gone and doing. The next was helping one of my dear friends before she got married. It was a combination of two sort of established families, and so she just really needed help kind of getting the house a little more situated to accommodate so many more family members. So I did a lot of stuff like that for a while until about June, which June, my life just like went crazy. And not in a bad way, actually mostly in a good way. We just had a lot of weddings to go to through the span of June to July. We went to a wedding in California in the middle of June. We came back. I was asked to go on a brand trip with Pantene, which was honestly one of the coolest experiences ever. They really just wined and dined us. I already love Pantene. A lot of you probably already know that. But they asked me to go to the Procter & Gamble labs, so I got to go tour the labs and meet the chemists behind the brand, which was honestly such a highlight as a hairdresser. It was just, it's one of those things I will never forget, and I'm so grateful that I got to go because I've never done a brand trip. That was incredible. And part of why I ended up going on this trip was because of a TikTok video that I made that went sort of viral. And the creator who I stitched my video with was on this trip. So I got to meet her, and that was really just like a full circle moment. Like, I never expected any of this to happen. It was just, I feel so lucky that I got to go do that. It was really, really cool. So had this brand trip, came back, helping my friend get ready for her wedding, and at her rehearsal dinner, my daughter broke her leg on a trampoline. It's like the most freak accident. It was the worst timing. I mean, there's never a great time to break your leg, right? But like literally the night before one of my best friend's weddings, where I was going to get up at 5 a.m. to do her hair and makeup. Like, you can't make this stuff up. It's insane. So ended up going to the ER. It was a late night, did not get a ton of sleep, but you know what? I pulled it together and got ready and went and did my bestie's hair and makeup for her wedding. And it was such a beautiful wedding. It was so much fun. great time getting to celebrate their new family. So then come back, had a few days to like kind of scramble and get things together and get my daughter's legs situated before we had another wedding in Jersey, and we were going to be on the Jersey Shore for 10 days. Of course, she breaks her leg right before this trip. So I'm like trying to figure out what can we do for this poor kid so she can actually enjoy some time with her cousins on the beach, because most of the time when you have cast, you can't get it wet or sandy. So that was a bit of a problem. But thankfully she had a really awesome doctor that was like, you know what? She understands not to walk on it as long as you can keep her immobile with a brace off. We can do a brace and you can just like set her in the water on the beach. So she had this broken leg and had this brace that we would like pop on and take off when we would get to the beach and stuff. And she did great with it. And so we went to this wedding. We had a really lovely summer beach vacation and came back. And then we ended up having another trip to Texas to see family, and my husband was doing a fantasy football draft of all things. We traveled for that. Yes, that happened. So, you know, this summer has been wild and like really jam-packed. And then it's like once we finally got home and kind of like settled back in, well, then it's time for school to start. And my daughter started preschool this year, which was honestly such a strange thing for me. Part of why I do YouTube and content and all of this stuff is because when I was pregnant, I did not want to go back into a salon because we were moving and I knew it would take a long time to build up a substantial clientele because I've done that before. And then I knew I would want to be home with my daughter. Like that was always a plan, was for me to be stay-at-home mom. Like that was what my husband and I agreed on pretty early on. Like I told him like I want this, and he knew like from having a stay-at-home mom the way that I did, like we both really wanted that for our kids. So I stayed home for the past 4.5 years. And so during that time, that's why I started my blog, Boldly Lauren. It started as Wholly Beautiful, and then I changed names as things went for a variety of reasons. But then it kind of started turning into brands asking me, oh, can you do video content? And me being me, I'm like, yeah, sure. And then I'm like quickly Googling, like, how do I make a video? Because I had never done it before. So I jumped into all of this, and that's how I ended up doing YouTube and all of this fun stuff. It's been such an interesting journey. So anyway, now that my daughter is in school, I suddenly have a lot more time to sit down and focus and dedicate back to my channel. One of the things that had happened with her getting a little older is that my child is incredibly social and very interactive and very demanding. And she's the most wonderful kid. But I also, there was not as much time for me with her being home all the time as she got older to really dedicate to this page, this YouTube. It's really hard to film when someone's running in the room and asking you something. Mommy, I need this. So yeah, so now, you know, I've got a little more time and headspace to sit down and film again. And it's been a weird transition with everything, but I'm finally getting into a groove now that she's been in school for a few weeks. And during this time, I have been focusing on myself a bit more, because some of you will get this because you're a parent, but when you are a parent and when you are the main caregiver of your children and you don't have like family or a nanny or babysitters or all of that kind of stuff, it starts getting very hard to prioritize yourself when you have a spouse that works all day. So like the past few years, things that I would want to normally do to like take care of myself, say, go get a pedicure, go get a facial, go get my hair done, go do all of these things, couldn't really do because I've got this small child who might be like trying to run around while I'm trying to relax. You can't do it. So I would try to sneak things in when my husband was available to help me, But, you know, things just were not happening for me as often as I would like because I just don't have like family close by and that sort of thing. So yeah, now that she started school, I have more time, and I have been taking some of that lovely time to pour back into myself. You know, I've spent the last couple of years really doting on her and getting her ready to make her debut in the world now that she's in school. So now that she's busy, Mama's taking care of herself again, and that feels incredible. That feels so good. I feel healthier. I've been sleeping better, just by taking a little bit of time for extra self-care. It's been a different change for us, but it's been good. My daughter is incredibly social, like I've mentioned. So school is really good for her. Yeah, that is where I've been. That's what I have been doing. And I'm sure you have wondered during this time, did I buy beauty products? The answer to that is yes. Yes, of course, because it's me. I love trying new beauty products and that kind of thing. But one of the things that I found during this time that was also really great was it ended up being a time of self-reflection and taking a look at my makeup collection and going, I have a lot of stuff that I can't use up. Now, obviously, like with what I do get sent some product, and then a lot of it I had bought too. And so when you look at your makeup box and you look at all this makeup that is like expired or on the verge of expiring, it makes you go, I am literally throwing my money away. And so for me, it gave me pause to evaluate, like, why am I buying every new launch? Is it because I'm really interested in it, or is it because it's the trending thing and I'm trying to keep up in this space as a creator? So, you know, I didn't buy a lot of trending stuff. In fact, I'm trying to think if I bought anything that was like a new launch that was really big and exciting, and I don't think I did, actually. Which is weird because I'm normally so on top of like every new thing. But no, I really don't think I bought any trendy launches. And I survived. I lived. It turned out okay. My wallet was happier. My threshold for clutter has been better. It basically just made me reflect on the why instead of the what, right? Like, you have to ask yourself, why is it I want to buy this thing? Is it because the marketing is making it look really appealing, or is it because I actually need this thing? And a lot of times, you don't need it. So with this sort of pause on my normal spending and purchasing habits of beauty products, it's made me think differently going forward on how I want to buy things. Obviously, companies are still going to send me things. Obviously, I'm still going to buy new products to try and that sort of thing. But I also am able to take a step back and say, am I actually really interested in this? Is there something that makes this unique compared to what I already own? And is it worth my financial investment? Will I use this thing? And if I can't answer those questions in a way that makes sense to actually buy something, I'm not going to buy it. I think it's okay in this world as creators to take a step back and worry less about trying to keep up and, you know, pop up in the algorithm. I think that there's something to be said about being more discerning with our dollars. Really, it's like, is this thing worthy of being in my collection, or is it just another flashing, shimmery thing to collect? I am not a collector of makeup. I feel very stressed out if I have too much makeup. what often ends up happening with a lot of my products is I will keep what works for me and if I'm going to use that thing. But if something is not working out for me, I don't hang on to it. I don't hoard stuff. I really do try to give things to friends and stuff, but sometimes if you just have too much makeup, you really can't even get it out to people that would use it. All right, those shadows are so great. These are, I'm just going to tell you about these real quick because they're kind of new. They were sent to me. This is from Gen C. This is the Multimedia Matte Liquid Eyeshadow, and the shades that I use today are Shroom and Linen. These are some of their newer shades. They are matte. What I love so much about these is that they are creamy and easy to blend out. You could use your fingers. I like using a brush a lot of times. It gives you enough time to work it in before they start drying down, but once they are on, they don't go anywhere. They last pretty much all day. They are budge proof. I am a huge fan of that formula. I also have one of their shimmery ones that I really like. They have a couple other shimmery ones that I would like to get as well, but I'm, again, not rushing out to buy things when I have stuff that I need to use up first, because expired makeup, it's not good for the planet, it's not good for our wallets, it's not good for anything. So best to use what you have, which kind of leads me into like my next thing is like, I've been trying to actually spend more time with the products that I have and really appreciate them. Sometimes I think as a creator, you know, we get so focused on trying new stuff and then we end up kind of pushing our older products to the wayside and not using things even if we really like them because we're so busy trying to like try new stuff. I've just found that this slowed down pace, this reflective mentality has been very good for me from a creative standpoint, because I look at my products and sometimes when I see something new launching, I'm like, do I have something like that already? And a lot of times the answer is yes. All right, I'm doing a little baby wing on this outside. This particular style of wing has worked out really well for me. My eyes are not hooded necessarily, maybe a little, but I really just have deep set eyes. My brow bone sticks out pretty far past my eyeball. So I don't have as much lid real estate as some ladies and gents do. So I've been concentrating that wing more on the outside and leaving a little bit of my lid visible because there really isn't much of it to be visible. And I really liked that style on me. Just taking whatever is left on this brush and just kind of pop it on the outside. All right, I need some eyebrows. One of the things that I have been doing, even though I haven't been on YouTube a ton, is TikTok. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. I think, you know, some people don't like TikTok for whatever reasons, and, you know, that's fine. But I will say, from a creator's standpoint, it's a really fun platform to be on. It's not so serious as like Instagram has been over the years, or even YouTube to some degree. It's just more lighthearted, and I feel like there's a level of realness with a lot of people that make content on there. A lot of it is not even like content creators, you know, it's just your everyday people that are living their lives and posting about their pets or what happened to them during their day. And I find it to be refreshing compared to some of the over curated content you find online. So yeah, if you want to see me on a more regular daily basis, I am on TikTok a lot. Another thing I will add is kind of circling back to what I said about like taking care of myself and doing things for myself. I've been budgeting more for that instead of just stuff. I mentioned that we should focus on the why more than the what. So like what I mean by that is focusing on why do I want or need this thing instead of what is this thing that I think I need. And so for me, a lot of times, like, I want a concealer because my under eyes have changed as I've gotten older and I feel like I have more darkness around my eyes and I'm trying to brighten that up. Well, what's the problem here? The problem is not that I need another concealer. The problem is with my under eyes, right? So I've kind of stopped and taken a moment to go, what can I do about the actual under eye itself? So one of the things that I recently went and had done was called the Clear Lift Laser. What that does is it's a laser treatment that is non-ablative. It does not heat up the surface of the skin. It does not create damage on the outside of the skin. What it does is it goes into the deeper layers of the dermis and makes these micro holes that help to stimulate collagen. And I had this done a couple of days ago, and you really can't tell anything because it didn't do anything to the outside of my skin. But what it's going to do is really help with some of these lines. I'll be honest with you, I think we're on like day 3 now. I feel like my eyes look a little more plump than they had been. And I'm excited because this treatment, they call it the lunchtime lift, actually. I'm excited because I feel like I'm already starting to see a little bit of that result setting in. My next appointment for a laser, the Clear Lift Laser, is in about 5.5 weeks. And the next time I'm planning on doing my entire face and neck area. But as I'm getting older, I'm finding that makeup does not always sit the same on your skin as it does when you are in your early 20s. And so I want to target the actual problem rather than just slapping a band-aid on it with some more makeup. I think that my skin has looked better the less that I wear. Like, you'll probably have noticed, I didn't use like an actual foundation. I spot concealed where I needed it, and then I used a mineral powder foundation, and this just looks so much more fresh and youthful on my skin. I think there's maybe like 2 foundations that I actually even really like at this point because of how much my skin has changed, and both of them happen to be from Chanel. So yeah, spending less on the actual beauty products and the marketing and all of the fluff, and I'm focusing more on what can I do to target the root issue here. All right, I had to film my mascara off camera because I cannot talk while I'm filming. I'm gonna try something. I've been focusing on this top and bottom portion of my lip line a lot more than the rest of the outsides and stuff, but I was watching this makeup artist last night, and I feel like she had a really great point. She was saying a lot of us have a little dip right here, which I definitely do. And she said when you aren't filling that just slightly overlined, you're doing yourself a disservice. Most of us have a slightly fuller bottom lip compared to our top lip, and then if you're not filling those sides, you're not maximizing how voluminous your lips can look. So I'm gonna try what she was saying. She was talking about doing the Cupid's bow, and then instead of just connecting down, just slightly overline. So I think she had a point. I can see big difference. I have to fill those outer edges a bit more. I really, yeah, I do. I got a little baby top lip. Okay. Also, during my reflective period away, my reflective hiatus, I think we should call it, I really started to ask myself, what am I getting ready for each day? And does my makeup reflect my activities? And I think a lot of times the answer before was no, because I was using it as my creative outlet to play, and similar to like a painter with a canvas, right? I've been very, very interested in wearable makeup instead of stuff that feels a bit overdone for the occasion. This feels right for me. This feels like something I could wear from morning till night, not needing to make any changes. I could maybe deepen up the lips if I was going to go out to dinner or add a little more eyeliner or something like that. but finding a happy balance with my makeup routine that is reflective of my life instead of playing dress up at home and not living outside of these walls. Can we hear it for the hair? Okay, my hair has been like such a journey, right? Like I've been so many different colors. This is probably the closest to my natural color with a little extra zhuzh. Like I threw some highlights in it because I just really wanted a little extra, a little something something, right? But I didn't want it to be high maintenance. A big reason for the highlights is because I'm starting to get white and gray hairs. They like to live up in here, and the highlights help to camouflage that. So I have missed being on YouTube. I've missed interacting with all of you and talking with you and chatting in the comments, and I am so happy to be back. I think that this period away was really instrumental in directing the course that I want to take with content and what I want to be talking about and what I want to show you. So I would love to know your thoughts on your purchasing habits. Have you kept up with this kind of rat race cycle of new products, or have you kind of pumped the brakes too? Because I certainly have, and it has felt really good to do that. Until next time, I am so thankful for all of you. Thank you for watching if you made it to the end of this video, and I will see you next time. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more from me. I'll see you soon. Bye.